Hello everyone, this is Whitebox here with another game of Spirit Island. Sorry I missed you all last week. It's been pretty busy here with trying to move. So I'm in a new location, new setup, temporary for the time being while I try to get everything sorted out. But I wanted to get a game in this week. I might have to take a break halfway through before I finish, but I'll get this up as soon as I can. And I'm going to be trying Fractured Days Split the Sky, True Solo, against the Kingdom of France, level 6. So France I've beaten with a lot of spirits on level 6 on digital, but I don't think I've shown that off in any of my playthroughs, so I figured I'd do that. And Fractured Days is a spirit that I don't have a lot of experience with, and I don't have any wins with them against France, so I want to give it a try and see how it goes. I got everything set up here. I'm in True Solo or in 2-player. Fractured Days gets 6 cards in its Days That Never Were, so I have that set up. And in a one-board game, True Solo game, Fractured Days starts with 1 time. So I've taken 1 time and taken that from bottom track. So I've already done my initial explore, it's in wetlands, and I'm ready to get started. Now unfortunately with this draw, what I'm looking for with Fractured Days is defend. And you'd think with 6 cards, 6 majors, 6 minors, I would get something that would defend. I got no defense cards, which is going to make this a little bit tricky, but I think I can work around that. So I'm still going to try to do a couple different things. So first, I'm going to go ahead and take Growth 3, which is gain a sun, move a presence, gain a card from Days That Never Were, and 3 times I can either gain a time or gain 2 energy. So I'm going to gain 4 energy from that. And 1 time, which I'll take from bottom. And then I gain a card from Days That Never Were. I've got a couple options here. Strong and Constant Currents is okay. Bird's Cry Warning I like. Rouse the Trees and Stones could kill that town that gets built in this land, clear it out, which isn't too bad. So it's just going to be a turn this turn actually. So I'll take a minor. I'll take Rouse the Trees and Stones. I don't want to move a presence, so I'll move this one out of here into that land. That could give some good coverage. And yeah, then I gain 1 energy, and I can play my cards. I've got 1 card play. I'm going to play Rouse the Trees and Stones, spending 1 energy, and I'm ready to go. Now, France has a couple special things. One is that they have a pool of towns, 7 towns, and if there are ever 7 towns on the board and they try to build and they can't build another, then I lose. So that's a problem, and I'm going to try to work around that. Alrighty, so that's my growth, that's my card plays. I have no fast powers that I can use, so I'm going to go straight into the invader phase. Flip an event just for timing. It's going to be important because that Slave Rebellion is going to come up on turn 4, which I need to remember, and I'm going to try to push that up to turn 3 using Visions of a Shifting Future. So we'll see how well I do with that. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the invader phase. So they're going to build, which removes the disease from that wetlands. Then they're going to build one of their towns in land 5. And then they will explore into mountains. So not too bad. So right there. And right there. And actually, now that it's no longer the first turn, they're going to explore empty lands with 2 explorers. Alright. And then Persistent Explorers, level 6 ability. It's a little finicky, so I'll try to remember it each time. After the normal Explore action, on each board add 1 Explorer to a lane without any. And then Fear cards will never remove Explorers, they just push them. So to a lane without Explorers, let's go ahead and put this into land 7. Alright, and that's that. So then I go to my slow powers. I have Rouse the Trees and Stones. So I don't know that I'm worried about land 5. I could let it Ravage. and try to deal with the build next turn instead by hitting land 6. That might be better, I'm not sure. Next turn I'm going to be able to do a bunch of stuff, so and hopefully get a defend card next turn, so we'll see. Tough choice. I think I'm just going to hit land 5, stop a Ravage. I'll deal with 6 later. So I'm going to do 2 damage to that town, which kills it. And then I'll push this guy, and I'll push him into land number 8. Okay, so that's my turn. I go back to growth, and this time I'm going to take growth 2 and gain my power card first. And hope that I get something with defense. That would be great. So I've got Haunted by Primal Memories, which is defense. That's okay. Only defend 3 though. I've got Gift of Power, Terror Turns to Madness, and Tormenting Rotflies. Okay. So only 1 defense card, Haunted by Primal Memories, which I'm not going to get the fear for it, or the extra fear, so it's okay. Problem is where my presence is. It's not great, because I'm not going to be able to hit land 3 with a Blur the Arc of Years and get more attack in there. So yeah, it's tricky. I'm not sure what the best choice is here. I'll take Haunted by Primal Memories. And I'll put one of these into my Days That Never Were. I think Terror Turns to Madness. Okay. So that was my power card. I get to add a presence. Unfortunately, it's only a defend 3. It's just not great. I can get a lot of Dahan into land 2 to try to fight back against that. That might be interesting. And there are a lot of things that you can do. Slip the Flow of Time, but all my powers are fast at the moment, so that doesn't really matter. Yeah, to use Aslusasis, I'm going to have to go into land number 1. Kind of messed up by moving my presence into this land, I think. I should have moved it somewhere else, but that's how it goes sometimes. So where should I add my presence? I think I'm going to go ahead and add it. Problem is that they're going to do 5 damage there, and I can only defend 3, so yeah, that's just unfortunate. Okay. Really not a great draw. let's go into here. Gain my power card, I gain a moon, and I have, I can gain a time or 2 card plays, and I can repeat that. So I'm going to gain 2 card plays. So right now I have 4 card plays. Should discard this. So I have 4 card plays, and I think I will gain 1 time. Okay. So with my 4 card plays, I'm going to go ahead and play Blur the Arc of Years. And I get 1 energy this turn. Let's split up this 3 into 3 ones. Blur the Arc of Years. Let's go with Absolute Stasis. The past returns again. And some of these I'm just playing for the elements, just because I kind of need to. And let's see, that gives me 3 sun, 2 air, 3 moon, so that's pretty good. And actually I can repeat Haunted by Primal Memories because of Slip the Flow of Time, so I think I'll play that as well. Well, the Ravage, then the Dahan will fight back and kill 1 town. Yeah, it's not as good as I would like. But it might be okay. Okay. We'll see what happens. It's a complicated spirit, so there's a lot of thought to put into it. So this cost me 3. Let's go with that. And let's get into fast powers. So I have a couple different things I'm doing here. First up, I'm going to go ahead and use Absolute Stasis on land number 1. So it doesn't build a city. That's going to stop a lot of things, actually. And I'll go ahead and put that time back onto the first row. Cost to use is 1 time. And if you haven't played Fractured Days, time is just going to stay on the spirit board. And whenever I spend time, it goes back onto my tracks. Alright, then let's see. What are the Arc of Years? Let's see. Let's use Visions of a Shifting Future. I have the first level of Slip the Flow of Time, so I can use a slow power fast. Visions of a Shifting Future is normally slow, so I'm going to resolve that fast. I have all the elements for the second level, so I can look at the top card of either the Invader deck or the Event deck, return it, then shuffle that deck's top 2 cards. But instead of returning and shuffling, I may put that card I looked at on the bottom of its deck. And I'm going to do that, because that speeds up the Slave Rebellion against France. So let me go ahead and take a look at this. It's Dahan trade with the Invaders, and I'm just going to shove that onto the bottom of the deck. So now because of that, I know that the Slave Rebellion is going to be on turn 3 instead of turn 4, which is good. So next turn, I'm going to get a Slave Rebellion. So I'm trying to figure out how to set up for that. So that's good. Let's see, I can use that potentially here. So I've used Visions of a Shifting Future, Slip the Flow of Time as well. I'm gonna kind of do this in the right order, which I've already messed up a little bit. I guess I can repeat Absolute Stasis, but I don't really want to. No, not so much. Okay, so I'm going to Blur the Arc of Years onto land 3. So if no Dahan or Invaders are present, remove 1 blight. If Invaders are present, they build and then Ravage. And if Dahan are present, I add 1 Dahan and then push up to 2 Dahan. And I'm going to push them into land number 2. So that way they can fight back and kill that city for me. Also, along with that, I am going to repeat it because I can spend 1 time to go ahead and repeat that on the same land. So let's spend that time, and I'll put it back onto, I guess, that first slot there. That's fine. I want to keep those 2 card plays unlocked. And then I'll add another Dahan and push those 2 into land 2. So now, even though a couple of those Dahan will die, they'll fight back and kill some stuff. So that's good. I wish I would have been able to defend that land, but it's okay. Alright, so Haunted by Primal Memories. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm really just playing it for the fear, I suppose. Because Blur the Arc of Years there just isn't that useful. Okay. So yeah, let's do Haunted by Primal Memories right there. That's going to be 1 fear and defend 3. Past returns again, I'm not going to use. I just played it for the elements. And then I have Slip the Hole of Fine. So I used the first level already, but second level is target spirit may reclaim 1 power card from their discarded or played cards. And if they reclaim a card from play, they lose its elements, which is fine. And target spirit may play a power card by paying its cost. So let's go ahead and... No, I don't really want to pay its cost just because potentially an issue. So yeah, I don't really get much benefit from that. 1 extra fear, not too useful. I could clean up a blight, but against France 6, that's not amazing. What if I did the building here instead? That might be better. Yeah, let's see. I think I can do this. It's a little weird, but so instead of playing Haunted by Primal Memories in land 6, I'm going to play it in land 7. Still get that 1 fear. That's defend 3 in land 7. Then I'm going to Slip the Flow of Time. I may reclaim 1 power card from my discarded or played cards. So I'm going to reclaim Haunted by Primal Memories. And then I may play a power card by paying its cost. So I'm going to play Haunted by Primal Memories again. That gives me another repeat, so I get another defend here. So this one is now defended 6, and another fear. And then I'm going to repeat Slip the Flow of Time. So I will go ahead and pay another time for that. I'm going to reclaim Blur the Arc of Years, and play a power card by paying its cost. So I will play Blur the Arc of Years again, using my last energy. And that's a weird turn, but it might work out. So Blur the Arc of Years, playing that 1 more time, using my last energy for it, and I'm going to play that here on land 7. So that means that in land 7, they build. So they will build a city. And then Ravage, and that's defended 6. They're doing 6 damage. The Dahan will fight back and kill the city and the Explorer for 4 damage. So that's 2 more fear. And then I also get to add a new Dahan, because Dahan are present. And I can push up to 2 Dahan, which I'm not sure that I want to do. I think I'm fine leaving them there. So that is my fast pace. Next turn's not going to be nearly so crazy, but that, I think, is the way to go. Alright, so that was that turn. Now I go into an event. My event is No Bravery Without Numbers. Invaders do not ravage in lands unless there are more invaders than the current turret level. Okay. Prey on the Heedless. I got a fear card for that as well. Prey on the heedless in each land with beasts, 1 damage per beast. And leave the hostile land in each land, push one Dahan per disease or badlands to lands without disease or badlands. So nothing really happens. Okay, then a fear card. Theological Strife. Each player adds 1 strife in a land with presence. That's good. Let's go ahead and throw that into land 1. I think I can do that. I used Absolute Stasis on it. I cannot target into, out of, or through where the land was. Yeah, so I don't think I can play that strife there. So I'll go ahead and throw it in land 8 instead. And maybe try to get some Dahan into land 8 next turn. Okay. Ravage. So they will Ravage here. They do 4 damage and kill 2 Dahan. And blight the land. And then the remaining Dahan will fight back, killing the city and the explorer. Gets me 2 more fear. Alright, next up I've got, that one's empty, so that's good. Next up I've got the build. This one's not going to build. They will get 2 towns into this land, thanks to France's special ability. 5, yeah. Okay. And then they will explore in sands. This one is Absolute Stasis, so it doesn't exist on the board, which means there is no town adjacent to land number 4, and they don't explore there. So that's pretty cool. This one, they explore with 1 explorer. And then the France 6 ability is going to just add an explorer to a land without 1. I'll throw it back into land number 2. So that worked out well, actually, using Absolute Stasis on that land. Really well. Okay, so France 6, I got that covered. Slow powers, I have none, so I'm going to go ahead and reclaim. And I am very poor right now, so I'm going to need to do a growth 1, reclaim, gain air. I can gain up to 2 time. Let's go with top and bottom. So I have 2 card plays. I'm going to have 1 energy for that, which is not a lot, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot here. Could potentially use Absolute Stasis again just to stop one of these from ravaging. That's not too bad. Let's see, stones and trees, that's not going to do too much. Okay. I have 2 card plays. 1 energy, not a whole lot. Yeah, I think I just need to go with Absolute Stasis just to stop Ravage, because it could be pretty bad. Playing the past returns again is not super helpful. It's not going to hit any thresholds, so I will leave it at that. And hopefully have a better turn next time. Alright, so Absolute Stasis. Let's go ahead and throw that onto land number 1 again. So that's not going to do anything. And that's that. So I will go ahead and go into the event. So my event is the Slave Rebellion. What a surprise. So on each board, add 1 strife to a town, which I'll do here. After finishing the event one, draw another one, then return this card to the event deck as per setup. And then aid the uprising. Invaders with strife take 1 damage per Dahan present, so that will kill that town, generating a fear. Getting me a fear card. And adding a new town, or a new Dahan, per town that that destroys. If I could have gotten more into that land, it would have been pretty cool, but unfortunately, I could not. Alright. Yeah, so that was Slave Rebellion. I draw another, and then add Slave Rebellion under those top 3 cards. And I'll do Civic Engagement. So, remove 1 strife. If you can't, invaders do +1 damage when ravaging in lands with towns and cities. Alright. And then Casualties of Fang and Sting. On each board, destroy 1 explorer or town in a land with a beast. Again, nothing there. And then Keep Far from the Lands of Plague. On each board, push 3 Dahan from lands with disease to lands without disease. No disease, doesn't matter. Alright, Fear card. Spreading Timidity. Each player chooses a land to isolate. Okay. Let's see. They could explore any land. Probably the most likely is going to be land... Well, most likely that I'm going to get use out of is land 3. So I'm going to go ahead and isolate land 3. Alright. Ravage in Mountains. This one is skipping that. This one will Ravage and kill that Dahan. Build in Sands. Get a town over here. And then explore wetlands. It's not great. I have to figure something out to do with that. Otherwise I'm going to lose in the build next turn. Alright, escalation also happens. So after exploring on each land, or on each board, choose a land in the shown terrain. If it has towns and cities, add a blight. If not, add 1 town. So I'll add a town into land 5. And then Persistent Explorers. So after the next normal Explorer action, on each board add 1 Explorer to a land without any. Let's go ahead and throw that. It should be safe to put it into land 4, I think. And then I go back to growth. I'll discard this. Okay, so let's see if I can do something actually effective here. Pyroclastic Bombardment, or Pyroclastic Flow doesn't really help. Storm Swap is okay. Unleash a Torrent of oneself. I can't hit the kicker for, so that doesn't help me too much. So yeah, not a lot of great options from my majors here. Can try to push for Terror level 2 maybe. Or take Voracious Growth just to clear out some of those Dahan. Bird's Cry Warning's okay. I should be able to defend that actually, so that's not too bad. Alright, yeah, so I think I'm going to do Growth 3. I'll take Voracious Growth. I'll move a Presence into land 4. And I will... see, I kind of need to play this fast. So I'm not going to be able to, because I don't have the card plays for it. That's unfortunate. Might be okay. Might be okay. Okay. I'm gonna gain 2 time to get to 3 card plays, and gain 2 energy. Alright. Then I gain 1 energy from Presence Tracks. I'm gonna play No, I won't be able to do anything with that. So I think, instead of taking Voracious Growth, I'm going to go back a little bit. I'm going to take a major. I'm going to take Storm Swath. I do have the potential to hit the kicker for that, which is pretty good. But I need 4 card plays for it, and I'm not going to be able to get that this turn. Okay, so that's fine. But I could potentially do it next turn. Alright, and do I still need 3 card plays? Oh shoot, this is a slow power, and I need it to be fast, otherwise I can't clear out these invaders. Yeah, not a lot of options. I might be in trouble this game, unless I get a good fear card. Alright, let's put Storm Swath back. Make another choice instead. Yeah, let's try to rush some fear. So I'm going to take Terror Turns to Madness. I'm going to be able to play this for a lot of fear this turn. I think I'm still okay with the growth options that I did. So I will play Terror Turns to Madness. I will play Haunted by Primal Memories. And I need 1 more moon. Blur of the Arc of Years is not going to help, really. So I'll just play the Past Returns again, because it's free, so I can save some energy. Alright, pay 1 energy for Haunted by Primal Memories. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use Terror Turns to Madness. Target a land with invaders, which is fine. I can use that fast, because I have Slip the Flow of Time. So that generates 3 fear. Then I will use Haunted by Primal Memories on land 7, defend at 3, and generate 1 fear. Then I don't have I don't have 3 sun, I just have 2. So I can reclaim 1 card from my discarded or played cards. I'm going to reclaim Absolute Stasis. Okay. And let's see what happens. I think I might lose this turn in this nice quick game, but sometimes that's how it goes. Alright, so that was that. I'm going into the event. Thriving Trade. Add 1 city to a coastal land with a city. I don't have a coastal land with a city, so that's okay. Pestilence arrives on canvas sails. On each board, add 1 disease to the coastal land with the most towns and cities. Minimum of 1. And in that land, 3 damage to Dahan. So that's the only coastal land with towns and cities. And then Clever Cooperation. Each spirit may push one of their explored or one of their presence from a land with Dahan. 2 damage in the land pushed to. I don't have any presence in lands with Dahan. Fear card. Each player chooses a different land with a different coastal land with Dahan, and each 1 damage per Dahan. That's perfect. I'm choosing land 2. And 1 damage per Dahan there is going to kill all of those explorers. So Dahan reclaim fishing grounds, worked out pretty nicely. Then I'm going to go ahead and go into the invader phase. So they're going to Ravage and Sands. This one's defended 3. So the Dahan will fight back, killing the town and the explorer, which gets me 1 fear. 1 damage there, not enough to do anything. build in wetlands. So we'll get a city and a town there. And then explore into jungle, which I think I can deal with. And then I add one to land without explorers. Let's go ahead and add that into land 2. Alright. Then I do have the elements for Visions of a Shifting Future at its highest level. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the top event card. It's Relentless Optimism. I'm just going to put that onto the bottom of the event deck. And go ahead and accelerate my Slave Rebellion once more. Okay. So that is that. Let's go ahead and go into the next turn. So I'm going to discard cards. And go back to growth. Now going back to growth here, I'm gonna let land 5 Ravage. I can't really do anything about that, and it doesn't really matter. I'll get to a Blighted Island, but I kind of expected that anyway. So instead, I want to try to deal with other lands. Oof, leg right now. So the build is the important thing to stop. I can use Absolute Stasis to stop one, which is okay. Let's see, I've got 3 more turns until that Slave Rebellion comes back up. 2 more turns, right? Some amount of turns. I'm messing with it too much. Alright, so let's go with... You know, I could take Bird's Cry Warning and fight back in land 5 and kill some stuff, which would be pretty good. So let's do that. So I'm going to go with Growth 3 again. Take Bird's Cry Warning from my Days That Never Were. I can gain energy or time. Let's do 2 time and 2 energy. I'm going to get 2 energy just from my tracks. I can move a presence, but I'm not going to because I like having the sacred sites where they are. So I'm going to go into the card place. So I'm going to play Bird's Cry Warning, which I just picked up. I'm going to play Blur the Arc of Years. Not going to get the higher level of Visions of Shifting Future this turn, unfortunately, but that's okay, I think. And let's also go with Absolute Stasis. So that will stop one of these builds. Okay, so I'm ready to go. Let me pay for these cards. Now, I can't reclaim a card if I do that, so instead let me take 4 times Sideways. I think it'll still work out. Hopefully they don't build too many towns here. I think it'll be alright. So instead of Absolute Stasis, playing 4 times Sideways, and I think I'm good to go. So I am first going to use Blur the Arc of Years on land number 7. That's going to add a new Dahan, and then I can push up to do Dahan, which I will push into land number 5. I don't want to repeat it there. I think I'm going to be able to play Bird's Cry Warning twice. Let's see. I can reclaim it, and then play it again. Yeah, so that's good. So I'm going to repeat Blur the Arc of Years, paying 1 time for that. To add another Dahan. and push those into land number 5 as well. Now I'm going to use Bird's Cry Warning into land number 5, so that the next time Dahan would be destroyed in target land, destroy 2 fewer Dahan. Now I'm going to use Slip the Flow of Time, so I may reclaim 1 power card from discarded or played cards, which will be Bird's Cry Warning. And then I'm going to play a power card by paying its cost, which is Bird's Cry Warning again. And I'm going to go ahead and warn the Dahan in land number 5. So again, using that. So now 4 fewer Dahan are going to get destroyed there instead of 2 fewer. Then I think I could do Slip the Flow of Time again to repeat Blur the Arc of Years 1 more time on a different land potentially. But I don't think I need to. That might be enough. Push them into land 8 as well. Nah, that's okay. I think, well, could you Bird's Cry Warning and push those guys into there? It's getting expensive to keep repeating stuff, though. How much damage are they going to do back? There's 8 health worth of invaders in that land, and they will do 8 damage back. So, yeah, that's pretty good. I'll clear it out. Okay, yeah, I think I'm good with that. So that is my fast powers. Next up, I guess I could play another card, because I do have 3 sun and 2 air. So I'm gonna repeat Slip the Flow of Time 1 more time for another power, and I will play Absolute Stasis by paying its cost. And I will use Absolute Stasis onto land number 3. Stop 2 towns from being built. I think that's the right play. Okay. So that's good. I'm all set with that. I do have Visions of Shifting Future, but I'm not going to play it. I don't have the ability to play it fast, so that's okay. Alright, so let me finish out this turn, and then I might have to take a break until my lunch break from work, and then I can finish out this game. So I am all set with my fast powers. I'm going to go into an event. My event is Fortune Seekers. The next Explorer matches all cards without towns and cities instead of the printed land type. Ignore any escalations on it. Grim Toll. On each board, choose a land with disease. In that land, 2 damage to invaders and 2 damage to Dahan. Good. Can kill that town. 4 fear. And then, tell the old stories. Each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among its lands either reclaims 1 power card or regains a unique power card that it already previously forgot. I don't have 2 Dahan among my lands, so that is fine. Next I'm going into the Ravage. They are going to, well, here, just 1 damage, which will kill that Explorer. Here, they're going to blight the land, which gives me a call upon the land. Immediately on each board, destroy 1 presence and remove 1 town. Okay. That's not bad. Let's remove this town. That'll stop a city from being built. They'll build 2 towns instead. Is that better? They would have a city and 2 towns there instead of 2 towns. Yeah, I think that makes it easier to defend, so that's fine. Although it doesn't reduce the number of towns on the board, I think it's the way to go. 3 blight per player. And I will destroy that presence. Okay, that's fine. Then the Dahan are surviving, thanks to Bird's Cry Warning. They're all hiding in the trees, and now they're all going to fight back and kill everything in that land, doing 8 damage. So that is going to be 4 fear Terra level 2. And the board doesn't look that bad. We'll see how this shakes out. That was the Ravage. Next is going to be a build in jungle. So they will build 2 towns in here. Nothing there. And then the Explorer in Coastal, but instead the Explorer card matches all lands without towns and cities, which is really bad actually, because I've cleared out a lot of cities and towns. So they will explore 2 in there. They won't explore in here because there's no adjacent towns or cities, but I got 2 in there. Yeah, it's a really, really bad card against France. This board was looking very clean, and now it is not. Okay. Alright, and then slow powers, I do have Visions of a Shifting Future. Let's look at the top card of the event deck. It's Slave Rebellion, I already knew that, so I ignore... I already knew that. I should know that, so I'm going to ignore the fact that I already knew that. Means I'm going to have to shuffle some Dahan around, but I think I can do that. Okay. So I won't worry about that. I'll just leave that as is. Terror turns Madness is going to be very good. Okay. Okay, cool. So I think that's all set. I'm going to go to Growth. So let me reset this. Discard these cards. I paid for that. Oh no, this was my time that I used for that, right? No, that was... should have been an energy. I don't know why I paid with that with the time. Alright, so I'm down to 4. Down to 1. Alright, and I'm probably going to reclaim, but I'm going to go ahead and take a break there because I have to start work soon. So I will come back to this game and finish it up at my lunch break. And it's looking pretty solid so far. I think I might be in good shape. There's a ton of explorers on that board thanks to Fortune Seekers, but I think that I will be okay. We'll see. Alright, I'm back. I'm starting a new turn here and trying to figure out how I'm going to win this game. I feel like if I let them build because of that Coastal Explorer, I'm going to be in trouble. It's going to be a slog. So my goal, if possible, is to try to win in the fast phase, or at least in the event, since I know the Slave Rebellion's coming up. So if I can potentially win there, clear out these last 4 towns, I could win a Terror level 2 victory in this phase. So with that in mind, I might put off the reclaim. The problem is I don't have great cards left to try to do something else. So I need to figure out a way to get around that. But I think I might be able to get some reclaims in, depending on which card that I take. Because I can gain a card from Days That Never Were. My hand that's left is Rouse the Trees and Stones and Terror Turns to Madness. I have 2 card plays. Unfortunately, I don't think that I'll be able to get Terror Turns to Madness fast without getting extra plays. I won't be able to get extra plays from this, so yeah, I might need to reclaim. I'll see if I can do some fancy stuff with that. Okay, yeah, let's try it. So I'm going to go ahead and reclaim. I'm going to do growth 1. I think I'm going to do 2 from bottom, just so I can get 3 card plays. I get 2 energy. And I'll see if I could potentially win in the fast phase here. So they're gonna ravage and jungle. Not gonna do anything about that ravage. It's fine. It'll be okay. Let's see. I think if I do Terror Turns to Madness and Haunted by Primal Memories, I can get some stuff done. Land 6 is an issue. But I could blur the Arc of Years and repeat it. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to blur the Arc of Years. I think do Haunted by Primal Memories. And Terror Turns to Madness. And I'll be able to resolve a slow power fast thanks to Slip the Flow of Time. I won't be able to reclaim and then play something again, but at this point I think I need to take some risks and see if I can potentially win this early. So win or lose, this game's gonna be early pretty fast. I might lose to Blight if I can't pull this off. I'm relying on fear cards, so that's a little bit risky, but I think might be okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into it. So pay for these powers. And figure out what I'm doing. So I am in fast powers. I'm going to go ahead and do Haunted by Primal Memories from this land onto land number 5. So destroy presence. So that is defended 3. Generates 3 fear because there are beasts present. So get another fear card for that, which is going to be really important. Then I'm going to go ahead and use Blur the Arc of Years on this land. So if no Dahan or invaders are present, I remove 1 blight. That's not the case. If invaders are present, they build and then ravage. So they will build and then ravage. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have enough defense to stop them from blading, but that's okay. I took a risk, and I think it might pay off. So they are going to cascade. 1 of these Dahan will die. They're doing 2 damage through the defend, and the remaining Dahan will fight back and kill everything that's left over. So I get 2 fear for the Dahan killing those 2 towns. Then if Dahan are present, I add a Dahan, and I can push up to 2 Dahan. So I will go ahead and push 2 Dahan over here. And I will spend a time to repeat that. So that adds a Dahan, and I can push 2 Dahan. And I'll push them into land 6. Alright, unfortunately I can't keep repeating it, but that's okay. Then Terror Turns to Madness. I can do 2 fear or 1 strafe. So I'm going to do 1 strafe and put that under, well, not under the Dahan, that would be silly. Put that under this town. Okay. So I've got that going. Let me just check one thing here real quick. Alright, cool. So yeah, looks like it's going well. I can still see this board okay. It's not an ideal setup, but I think it's working for a quick temporary setup. Okay, so that was Haunted by Primal Memories, Blur the Arc of Years, repeated, and Terror Turns to Madness played fast, thanks to Slip the Flow of Time. I have Visions of a Shifting Future, which I could make fast, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave that as is. And I actually have the highest level of that, so once again I'll be able to accelerate the Slave Rebellion once it's coming back up. But let me go ahead and go with my event next, which is the Slave Rebellion. I've got a small uprising, because I'm still in stage 2. So I add 1 strife to 1 town, which will be right here. After finishing this event, draw another one, then return this card to the event deck as per setup. And then aid the uprising. Invaders with strife take 1 damage per Dahan present. So each of these will take 2 damage. And then add 1 Dahan per town or city that destroys. So I get 2 Dahan into that land, destroy 2 towns, which gets me 2 fear. Another fear card. Alright, now I draw an additional fear card, or an additional event, and put this back under the top 3 event cards. That is the fun thing about this matchup. You get to kind of slip the flow of time, or Visions of a Shifting Future, and get more Slave Rebellions than you normally do. But I get the Frontier Calls. So I'm on a Blighted Island, so self-sacrifice buys time. Destroy 1 presence from each spirit. The next exploit added to the island this turn comes from the box instead of the Blight card, where X is the number of spirits. Place this card on the Blight card as a reminder. Okay. Destroy 1 presence from each spirit. Let's go ahead and destroy this one here. If it makes it to the Ravage, I lose, so I'm banking on being able to destroy those 2 remaining towns with my 3 level 2 fear cards. We'll see if that happens. Okay. Lair in Untamed Lands. On each board, add 1 beast to a land without towns, cities, or blight. Sure, that'll be good, actually. And then seek out new grounds. On each board, gather 1 or 2 Dahan into a land without Dahan setup symbols. Okay, let's see. We'll gather that guy in there, and that guy in there. Okay. Alright, 3 fear cards, Terror level 2. Let's see if this gets me the win. A bit of a gamble, but that's fun. So Dahan attack. Each player chooses a different land with Dahan. 1 damage per Dahan there. There we go. That's a start. 1 damage per Dahan. It's going to kill that town. And I'm 1 town away from winning this game in Terror level 2. Panic. Each player adds 1 strife to a land with beasts, disease, or Dahan. For the rest of this turn, invaders have -1 health per strife to a minimum of 1. Okay, so just as insurance, I could put this into land number 3 and stop them from blading there, just so I get an extra turn, just in case. So I think I will do that. I'm going to go ahead. Oh wait, I don't have... Oh no, I do have a beast there, so... Yeah, so let's go ahead and put that strife in there. That way, if they do end up getting to the Ravage, I'm not going to lose right away. I still have a chance to keep this going. And then, there we go, depopulation. On each board, remove 1 town. So, gambling for the events paid off, or for the fear card paid off wonderfully. I removed the final town from the board, and now I have no towns or cities. So I win a Terror level 2 victory against France 6, which was pretty fun. So yeah, that was a good one. This was... definitely a gambling game. I felt like my days that never were weren't the best. I actually didn't get a major, so you can definitely beat level 6 adversaries with fractured days without getting a major, which is neat. That's good to know. Yeah, this was a fun one, using my Dahan for counterattacks and sacrificing them and all sorts of stuff to try to get the win against France level 6. And getting those early Slave Rebellions is definitely a big thing. So let me go ahead and score this up, and I'll see how I did. But yeah, so Fractured Days, a fun spirit. It's been a while since... Well, it hasn't been that long since I've played them. I've only played them in team games with other people. And usually when I play Fractured Days, I'm pretty focused on support and helping other people out. When you play solo, you can focus a little bit more on just letting things happen on your board and trying to clear it out. So that's what I did this game. And it ended up working out pretty well, pretty fabulously actually. Alright, so my Blighted Island card was a Pall Upon the Land. Again, removed a town, which was great. This was Fractured Days on board A. Yeah. Alright, and then as for scores, let's see. So cards left, I had quite a few. That was an early victory. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cards left. Dahan, a lot. Let's see, 10, 12 Dahan on the board. Shenanigans with Blur the Arc of Years are very fun. I lost a couple this game too, so I added a lot. Slave Rebellion as well, so France plus Fractured Days equals a lot of Dahan. So 12 Dahan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Blight. Terror level was 2. I had 7 lands that were occupied by invaders. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 health worth of invaders. So this was a very good one. 78 points. That's one of my highest scores. France will do that, you know, you get the extra Dahan from Slave Rebellions, and that just kind of adds up to your score, so it's a little bit of gamemanship with getting the extra scores there. But yeah, this was a fun one. I'm glad I was able to figure out a path to victory on the way back, gambling on those fear cards taking out 2 towns there to win the game for me. So this was a good one. I'm gonna keep playing around with Fractured Days and trying new things out. Maybe a major power Fractured Days next time and see how that goes. But if you enjoyed this, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I love hearing your thoughts in the comments. If I made any major mistakes this game, feel free to point them out. I don't think that I did, but whenever I go back and rewatch these games when I'm setting them up, I always find little things, sometimes big things. But I think in this particular game, I did okay, following the rules as best I could. France is a little finicky, so it's definitely possible that I missed something. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week.